So in this part of, this is going to be, this is the season 2, episode 3 series that we're doing, and we need to pay attention to the Julian, whoops, where'd it go? The Julian and the Gregorian calendar. Well, in this moment, try to get all my tabs on the same place here so I can click back and forth. In this moment, Marge sees this green swirling vortex. So we're going to look at the word vortex, and then Lisa comes in and says a gateway into another dimension. It's interesting that she uses that word gateway because I use that word a lot for the 101 numbers. And all the numbers that have a 0 in the middle, or even 2 zeros in the middle, I see those as gateway numbers. So it's interesting that they use that word. So let's look at these words. So just to be exact, at this moment of 249, which is the away number, 7 times 7, she says it looks like a vortex. So let's do that one first. Okay, so we have more of our 6-9 numbers. This is a very close relative of the Bride of Christ number, as I have described in many videos. I am getting new subscribers, and I am very glad to see new people here, and I'm going to go back and touch on some of these concepts. So this would have a reverse root to a 1 and an 8, and that has to do with the number 5, has to do with Philadelphia, and that's why the Pope went there. And these numbers, the first 8 digits of after the decimal point of phi stay the same through the square, and phi, there are 2 phis in Philadelphia, so that matters. And we've seen a lot of 618, 816, 69s, and 96s this whole summer, and I have a lot of videos on these. So, and also because of the word free, as in Freemason, is a 6, and it's a 618. This is where the code really lies, is a 618 in the F. Placement code of the F is a 6, and the R is an 18. So that is a 618. The backwards of free is an 816. We've seen that number in the Georgia Guidestones and in a lot of other codes. And the backwards 816 equals Bride of Christ. So that's why I equate the 6-9s and the 9-6s wherever we see them with not only a dimensional shift and freedom from the dome. It's kind of like a Gnostic. I'm not Gnostic, but it's kind of a Gnostic idea of the levels of the dome, and that the 8th level is the level of Sophia, and 9th level is you're out of the dome and you've gained freedom, and that's what I think the core of this word means. So that's why I mentioned that. And there will be a lot of new viewers with the Simpsons, because I'm going to put Simpsons in the title, and there's going to be Cern in the title, and that's going to bring in a lot of new people. So welcome everybody. I just invite you to calm down. Please don't shout scripture at me or you'll be blocked. So okay, that's what I want to say. First of all, let's look at the simple gematria real quick on this statement, and then I want to show you what else she says. Okay, that word is too big. Okay, so just looking at the word vortex, we have a counting up number, which we saw in the shooting yesterday, having to do with the coordinates. So this is, and also not only that, what they're counting up numbers and counting down numbers in the Pope visit. I did a 10-part series on that. I know it's a lot to chew on and probably too late now, but there's a lot of strange numbers in there. I'll try to refer back to them. Also, there were strange I was working on a Simpson episode, and then I was too busy with the Pope thing to bring it to you, but I did do a few videos on it, which I'm holding back. But there's a Simpson episode, the 266th episode, which was very hard to figure out where that was, but I figured it out. And it has a lot of mayhem, fire, cut body parts, and 1, 2, 3s and 3, 2, 1 numbers. This is a 924 number, and I saw this again, and it's just upside down, but I'll show you what I mean by that. I do have an intro, if you would like to see the intro to my channel, where I explain a little bit more compassionately about how I do love Christians and all of the different commoners, but I'm not going to allow unkind remarks or, religious fundamentalism in the comments. So if you would like to check that out, I put it up recently. I don't know how to put it on my front page where, you have your trailer and it comes, someone clicks on your channel and it's the video that pops up. That's where I want to put it, but I click all around. I can't figure out how to do that. So it's just in my lineup for right now. All right, well, this word vortex matches Jerusalem and monster, reptilian, the number 14. This is all good to know. I just had to go back and make sure I was still on the topic. Dangerous. She says this. We're looking at vortex. What I wanted to show you is a little bit later she says a gateway into another dimension. And I looked at this. And this is where I was trying to get to. I try to put it all in the video and then I get a little sidetracked. This has this date in it, gateway into another world, and I do want to just look at gateway by itself. But this date, I thought, okay, well, it's so weird. We still have these dates, but then I thought, wait a minute, because now we're calculating. Oh, where's my calculator? Oh, here it is. We're calculating to find out that Zachary Hubbard found this out, and he put it on a video a few days ago, and I thought this was a huge catch, that September 23rd in the Julian calendar equals October 6th in the Gregorian calendar, and we'll have to give him the credit for this, and he's got an amazing channel, and we don't agree on some of the fine points, but anyway, he's amazing, and I wish I could remember facts like he does. Well, this is the 106. If you just add this is the 106 number that we've seen everywhere from Philadelphia train wreck. It's in everything. So this is a very valid find that he found, but the gateway into another dimension is the 24th, so that would be the day after, okay? And then I'm working on a video right now that has to do with the title of this episode that we're working with right here, the treehouse. Now I can't remember the precise, but the title of it has a 922 in it. And so we want to realize that that could be October 5th, which is in 3 days. It could be that Atonement Day is in 3 days, that they gave us the wrong day. And they are working with the Julian calendar. Or they're operating from the Julian calendar, and it's being translated to the Gregorian calendar.
A gateway into another dimension.
252, so that's a 7-7 again. So the beginning of her statement was a 49, which is a 7 times a 7, and then the end of her statement, they do this a lot, where they have these number. It's almost like you're walking through a gateway, and it has a 7-7 on one side and a 7-7 on the other side. So this is another 7-7 on the other side of her statement. All right. Well, now I'd like to go to pen and paper and show you some things that I found about some of these words. All right, so this episode is called Treehouse of Horror, but if you add, the treehouse adds up to 116, which has these anagrams and mirror versions of it. The center, HOU, is a 4. Hi guys, I just want to break in with this finding because I was listening to Zachary K. Hubbard again, and he has found that nuclear war equals 116. Also, that ties to JFK warning us about building a bomb shelter on 10/6/1961, and I found the date. I found that Obama was 63 days old on that day, and there's a tie between Obama's birthday and the October 6th of 2015, and I'm going to show that to you. Bomb shelter has the gematria of 119 or 9/11. 714, which is one day off of the 715 date that I talk a lot about having to do with God by Kollel rule, and the other Jewish gematria is 392, which is a 923, which is the equivalent of 10/6 by this Julian Gregorian calendar conversion. So the time between Obama's birth, August 4th, 1961, to 10/6/2015, I have the days written down, and the days numbers are very symbolic, but it's 54 years, 2 months, and 2 days, which is also kind of like a 922. And the 922 day converts to October 5th if you use the Julian Gregorian conversion. So there are a lot of symbolic time diameters that I just found, so I had to break into this video and tell you about this. Noted. But if you add this 116 to 21, which is the center of the word, which is of, and 21, the 21st prime is 73. Always need to remember that. this star matrix mirror here. And then this adds up, horror adds up to 92. So that all adds up to 22.9, which is 922. And this day has come and gone. But so we're just going to look at the concept of this. There are going to be other 922s. Or just the concept of this. So treehouse, so say this, so here's the concept idea of it. So say this episode has, you know, Judgment Day or Atonement or Revelations type of symbolism, then they would give it a title that has atonement in the title. So the title basically equals atonement. 229. Now, one thing that's interesting to note is that I was looking, this is the 2-3, season 2, episode 3 episode, and this is basically one square away from this, and I think that this episode is meant to be one of their versions of what would be a 2-2-3 episode, and I'll find more. They don't have, it only goes up to 22, and I will look at the 22nd, because in this season they do have a 22nd episode. 116, we've seen this number active in a lot of the gematria, and here's another place where it is. Let me show you. Oh, so Bart tells a story within this story, and the name of his story is called Bad Dream House, and it's about a haunted house built on an Indian burial ground, and it tries to kill them all, and that's 116. So that's probably not a coincidence. And if you added that together, 116 and 116, you would have 22. You know, of course, I didn't add it how it. Well, there's okay. Let's add it properly, I guess. So that's a 132 if you add it properly. But if you just take the 22s, turn it this into a 12, which reduces to a 3, then you get back to this number. All right. Well, in this haunted house, there is a gateway into another dimension, and it happens. Marge, oh, sorry, I should leave that there. Marge first sees this at this timestamp, and it's in the kitchen, and it's green and swirling, and and Lisa comes in later and says a gateway into another dimension, and then they say vortex a bunch. And so, let's look at the word vortex. In the center, you have the R and the T, which adds to a 38. So if you take the Pythagorean root of the very first additions here, you have an 11 on this side, an 11 on this side, and a 10 on this side. And your outer valence in the Pythagorean, I don't know what this word would be, because first of all, I did the simple gematria to here, and then this is a digital root, which is, it's not Pythagorean gematria, so I probably shouldn't call that. It's a digital root. It's adding the digital root valence, which, as you can see, has a Rockefeller number in it, and that's why I'm paying attention to it. If you add this, though, if you add these two together, from these two digital roots, it's a 21, and the 311 is another Freemason number, because we have the Freedom Tower being dedicated on 11/3, Fukushima happening on a 311. And if you add them all together, you end up with 32, which is the mirror of our episode. Right here. By the way, SE is a 24 season and episode. So again, you have your heaven, as it would be in the menorah gematria. I have a video on menorah gematria, and the earth as it would be in the menorah gematria. Well, whenever we see the 32, one of the major anti-roots of it would be 7 plus a 25, because you would take the most dominant pi out. So that would be 1. So it's interesting that the kingdom of heaven plus pi would be here in the center. Now if we just add this straight across, you have 17 and 7 is 24. 8, 9, and 10. If I did that right. I hope I did that right. It's embarrassing to do wrong math on camera, but I'm not going to say that it's impossible for me, because I wasn't born to be an accountant. I'm kind of more of an idea pattern recognizing kind of person. All right. One thing here, I don't know if maybe I should mention it in this episode. Into Cern, this could be a Cern reference. The center of this just word Cern here is 23. That's another clue that this could be a Cern reference. And this is a 3, and this is a 14, and that together is a 17, which is the Q, which is the power symbol, this floor plan of the UN, and another code for pi in the HI or final state form. It's saying that pi is the final state, or holiness is the final state. That's why they name Hawaii HI. And that's why supposedly Obama was born there. Okay. What am I saying here? Oh yeah, so Homer throws an orange in there on this mark. You know, which is again basically another 9/11. And I've done orange before, but let's just take a quick look at it. So we have 15. And then on this far side with GE, we have 75. 75 is actually 3. It's actually 3 times pi. It's actually a trinity of pi. But it does it does add together, because that's just the straight, simple gematria before adding. And so it adds together to a 12, which is, again, a circle. And then the inner part would be the 13, like in the zodiac, to confirm that you're talking about pi here. And then if you add these two together, you have 27. And so you basically have the master and this, if you took this as a hieroglyph, like if you made a sentence out of the hieroglyph, the master of the all-seeing eye and sound. If you're a master of sound, that means you have mastered the teachings of the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is the dove, is Isis, Inanna, Diana, Artemis, Ishtar, Marie, mother and wife of Christ. Okay, so the master of the all-seeing eye, pineal gland, and sound in the Trinity of Sons. And each son is pi. And it's kind of interesting that suns are orange as well. So anyway, he throws all that in here, into the vortex. And I think he throws it in at an earlier timestamp, and it disappears on this timestamp. It goes into zeroness. So if you wanted to look at this in terms of any date clues, the appearance of this, since there's no such thing as February 44th, it could be 4/24. If you were trying to pull a date out of that. I was trying to see if I could confirm that with the vortex, but I don't know if I can. So that's kind of guessing on the date. We're going to have to learn how to pull some dates out. And I'm not saying that we failed on our September dates. There were definitely 2 large sacrifices on 9/11 and 9/23 or 9/24 in Mecca. But it's also very possible that by publishing all of our warnings of a false flag, that we actually prevented a false flag. That's very possible. So we need to take that in consideration. All right, talk to you guys later.